Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And guess what I got today? A 2021 US quarter, and that's it right here on the right, the Philadelphia Mint 2021 quarter. And you will notice that it's slightly different than the quarters you've seen since 1999. And that's because in 1999 they switched over to the United States State Quarter Series, and they went to this design up here. And then they switched over to the America Beautiful series, and they went to this design up here. And now they've gone full circle back to this coin right here, the 2021 same old George Washington, John Flanagan design that's been on there since 1932, when John Flanagan originally did the engraving for this coin. So let's take a look at the different coins, and let's just walk you through the history. So let's start here with the 1965. 1965, the first Washington quarters came out in 1932, but those quarters were silver. So the present series, they went in 1965 to the copper nickel plated copper, and you can see the copper right on the inside there. This is the 1965. 1965, no mint marks on the coins, so you won't find one there. Said Liberty at the top, In God We Trust under George Washington's chin, and then 1965 down here. And when you flipped it over from 1932 until 1964, they had this design, in which is kind of the eagle, or sometimes called the war eagle. At the top it says United States of America. It says E pluribus unum here, $quarter at the bottom. It's an eagle holding a sheaf of arrows with a olive branch below him. And this quarter was made in the copper nickel clad version until 1998. And here's the last of those. And this is a Denver one. And you can tell this is a Denver one, of course, because we have the Denver Mint here. We look at 1998 and we see, there you go, same back that it had in 1932 and when they switched over in 1965 to the copper nickel clad. Now, well, what came next? Well, when they started making the quarters, and they started making the state quarters, they changed the design quite a bit. So look at the difference between the 1998, which was the last year of these Washington designs, and the 2000. And this is just a regular coin. This is a nice looking coin. You see that in 2000, when they started the state coin series, 1999 when they started the state coin series, this is a 2000, but they started them in 1999. United States of America went on the front instead of the back. Liberty went under his chin instead of over his head. $quarter went here on the front instead of the back. In God We Trust went behind him instead of under his chin. And the mint mark stayed in the same place. And what did they put on the back? Well, for 50 of these, they put a state, and then they put territories after that. So this is the state of New Hampshire, the second year of the state series. New Hampshire, it says 1788, Live Free or Die in the front, Old Man of the Mountain here, 2000, E pluribus unum here. So the E pluribus unum stayed on the back. Here, remember, it was right here above the eagle. The United States of America moved to the front. The year moved from the front to the back, which is kind of a weird thing. So the year went from 1998 here, it went to 2000 on the back. And this was one of the second year of the state quarters in New Hampshire series. Well, when they did that, this is, of course, a John Flanagan original design. We can tell it's a John Flanagan because we can tip it up, and we can see that right down in there. Can you see that way down underneath his neck? Let's see if we can get a pointer. Right under there, there's a J and an F for John Flanagan. Well, when they redesigned it, William Cousins did the redesign, and so he has the John Flanagan there. But then you see there's a WC here for William Cousins. So when they went to the state quarter series, William Cousins actually got his initials on the front of these quarters. Next, though, they went to the America the Beautiful series. And this is the you can see it's pretty much the same front. But guess what they did? When they went to the America the Beautiful, they took William Cousins' initials off the front, and they went right back to the John Flanagan, the JF way down in there. See it? So John Flanagan was back to just JF again. And then this is the America Beautiful White Mountain series. And what happened was when they did the America the Beautiful series, a lot of the states had two. So remember, New Hampshire had a state quarter, but they also had one of the America the Beautiful quarters, and this is the White Mountains. And you can see over here it says New Hampshire 2013. And when they went to these ones, of course, see how they put the E pluribus unum way over here on the outside, and this is kind of a raised, so it's an accused inscription going around, and then E pluribus unum is here, and these are just beautiful designs. So this particular design, each of the states had a different design on them. Well, those state quarters and then America the Beautiful quarters stayed until 2021 here. Still the John Flanagan only design. So this is a 2021, and look at it, it's a Tuskegee Airman. This is a beautiful, just a beautiful coin. The designer initials right here, the CTE, says Alabama. So Alabama had a state coin, but they also had the Tuskegee Airman coin. They fought 2 wars, it says, and this is for the black units, black Air Force units that fought in World War II and the Korean War. And they were all trained, or many of them were trained in Tuskegee, Alabama. You can see the other initials right down here. That's just a beautiful coin, but that's where it gets a little weird. So let's look at, remember I showed you the 2021 coin? So in 2021, we went back to Washington, but we also still had some of the national or America the Beautiful style coins. This is the 2021, and then so is this. But look at the difference between the two 2021. So mid-year, essentially, they went from this image, the old initially William Cousins, John Flanagan design, to this image, which is just a straight up old design, the same that was on the 1964 coins, and the same one that we last saw in 1998, which is the 1998. This was the last year that they made it in this version. Then they brought it back in 2021. So here it is. But guess what's on the back? Now this is all new. It's all different. I've never seen this before. This is a Philadelphia. We see the P for the Philadelphia Met. We flip it over and we see it's United States of America, E pluribus unum, crossing the Delaware. This is Washington crossing the Delaware to fight the British in the Revolutionary War. It says $quarter on the bottom, and when we look at it, we see that you know that there's a band of soldiers in a paddling across this icy Delaware River, and this particular design was designed by 2 different designers essentially. And let's take a look at the initials on here. So on the left we see there's a B and an S, and that's for Benjamin Sowards, who created the design. See the BS right there? And then over here, can we see it? Right there we have an MG, and that's for Michael Guadioso. So can you see it there? I'll tip it up a little bit more. It's right here. It looks like it's a little bit of an iceberg, but it's the MG and the BS there. And so both of those designers or initials are on the back. And this is our new coin, and this is the one we're going to have, I believe, for a long time to come. The 2021 coin, in which we still have Washington on the front. And these are both Philadelphia, remember, or could be Philadelphia, because Philadelphia didn't have a mint mark. But nobody did in 65. But we substituted the back for the War Eagle or the Eagle to the Washington crosses the Delaware. All right, thanks for watching the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.